What it do, man? It's your boy Young Block from around the way. Coming at you for another checkup. First off, I'm gonna start up by bigging up the roster. Bob Marley, you know what I'm saying? Big boy roster, low God. Grand soul rising eternally. He would have been 40 today. Anyway, man, I'm at work, had a little bit of break, so I figure I'd tap in with y'all, man. I appreciate all my new subscribers, man. Y'all motivate me to keep going. And before I get into the subject matter, man, I want to give y'all a little brief introduction about me for y'all, those of y'all who don't know. You know, I had two channels back in the day, Donald Green 630 and Derek Roberts, right? And they was music, and you know, a lot of it was real fleshly and rough, but a lot of people don't really know my background on this story. Okay, my name is really Derek, but I ain't gonna get into all that. Y'all get that whenever time permits. I was born in Hamilton County, Chattanooga, Tennessee, and all my family from down there. So, you know, growing up in the hood, Isaiah Rashad, me and him from Top Dog Entertainment, we from the same projects. We used to be Boone Heights. And then they had Martin Luther King Boulevard and all that out through there. But me and Isaiah Rashad from Top Dog, we from the same hood in Tennessee. So you already know that life got pretty crazy out there. House getting shot up, man. You know, my brother got grazed by a bullet. You know, all kind of stuff happened. I seen people's domes knocked out and all that. But so then, you know, my parents had split up and everybody did their own thing. But I wasn't really accepted by really either one of my parents, I feel like. And so I was just going through the same thing you normal people do in the neighborhood go through on a daily basis. And when I got about 13, well 12, when I got 12, that's when I caught my first charge. And I went to juvenile and all this, training school, prison. I was really heavy out in them streets. And you already know I had the music circulating, doing my thing on that. Had a couple features. So I started looking into selling my soul to the devil for fortune and fame and stuff, and I was in the process of doing all that. Then I had a spiritual encounter, and I guess you'll say the vessel that was used had told me I was going to prison and all this, basically like fortune telling. So I got locked up, man. At the time, I didn't, that's why I was going to sell my soul, because I didn't believe, I thought God was for like white people and all that. And then this Idrin, he hit me up, started showing me these Hebrew Israelite books. And then it shocked me to find out that the Muslims was black, and then it said that they was black in the Bible, because I always thought they was white, because that's how they was always portrayed to me. So needless to say, that's when I started digging in, get my mind right. You know, Yahweh converted my soul, and I try to live the Rastafarian way of life as much as possible, but I don't praise Selassie. That's one thing I need to get in order, is I don't praise Selassie, because he came out his own mouth and said that he was just a mere mortal man, and that we should follow the real, true, and living the Most High, and wait for the second coming of the Mashiach, or the Messiah. So when I heard this stuff out of his own mouth, you know, then that's when I went from Bobo Ashanti to the mention of the House of the 12 Tribes, and that's how I'm rocking. So yeah, that's just a little brief checkup, man. I currently run around here and there, state to state, doing a little work, town to town, doing a little work, trying to get my money. Because I know, yeah, I'm kind of blackballed musically wise from the industry. I don't want to be in the industry like mainstream, but when they blackball you, you gonna be in a certain place until the Most High open up them gates. Cause when God open the door, no man can't close it. My brother, I got a brother. He in the game, but he doing his own thing. He independent. Geechee boy, Dade County, Miami. Y'all need to look him up. Go support him. He got his barbershop business down there and all that. I'm not a hater at all. And I don't believe he blackballed me, but I know some people that I quarrel with, like some high level religious figures like preachers and priests and stuff, because I go in their temples and check them on the word and spit that real and call out that fool. So they put the word out because they was trying to get me to be a Jesuit, but I wasn't wanting to rock with no Jesuit. Could they be with the Catholics and stuff? But yeah, it's just a little update on me, a little brief synopsis. But what I wanted to get to y'all today about is like this gas stuff. Okay, y'all see how something so small can throw off the whole balance. They throw off the whole balance of the economy in the globe. Just something as simple as gas. Now everybody running wild and they all materialistic and self-centered, but when something like this happen, people freak out and panic. But they don't realize, man, the stuff y'all been focusing on ain't important, because what y'all gonna do when the food go down or the power grid go down? They ain't got nothing to stock the shelves in the store, and it gets like some World War III apocalyptic Z Nation type situation. Then all y'all want to look for the light bearers then. But it'll be too late by then, because we trying to tell y'all now, but y'all, oh, he a conspiracy theorist, oh, he extremist, religious, and all that. When that's far from the truth, we just be trying to look out, right? So then everybody on Facebook, everybody got to complain. You're not obligated to get gas. People like, oh, this is ridiculous. Man, who does that? Like, people is mentally dead and spiritually dead out here. Everybody panicking to buy up all the gas, and everybody want to get on Facebook, and me, look at me. They get thrilled and high off them likes and stuff, because they putting all their information on the internet, right? Oh, Jackie went to eat. Jackie's at the store. Jackie got a plate. Jackie got some clothes. Look at Jackie. And they do that to their kids, putting everything where they go to school. That's some dangerous stuff, and they don't focus. If it ain't on the internet, it seems like they don't focus on it as realistic. But if it's on the internet, they think it's realistic. Everybody got to put their input. And the people that's putting their input and complaining and all that be the same narrow-minded people out here rolling on Molly and going all crazy, chasing Percocets and stuff all day. Insane. And this show right winding down, man. I believe the Most High trying to show mugs, man, like, in the end, what you think was important ain't important. I'm important. Without me, you can't do nothing. You ain't hitting on nothing. Then, hold up, let me collect my thoughts out. This noise messing with my train of thought. But okay, so they got a bunch of Satan 666 shoes out now. All they promoters demonization on the television, witchcraft. They mocking Christ all through the media. They even got a gay Jesus show they had on Netflix. And you hear a term, that's another thing I want y'all to focus on. Look up the term global citizen. And you might seen it on your YouTube ads and all that about a global citizen. So that should show you we heading towards a new world order, one world religion, and one world government. Militarized police, and artificial intelligence. That's gonna be how they keep these people in checks. Otherwise, then you got the COVID going on, which I already said in a video or so ago. That it was manufactured and throughout as a biological warfare agent against the populace in order to put us in submission to where everything's so out of control that we'd accept anything at that time. Okay, so just tell me this, if all y'all who believe the China bat story, how do you think one person who eats some bat soup in China can infect a whole globe, a whole entire globe of people in countries and regions that they usually never inhabit or go to? Then secondly, look up the pandemic bonds they took out in 2019. I mean, you can get deep, man. You seek and you shall find. Knocking, it shall be open. Everything, like read 2 Timothy chapter 3 in the scriptures. Then comment and tell me if you don't see that step for step, word for word, and line for line going out in society nowadays. So what I'm gonna start doing is I'm slowly but surely going to increase the flow of this kind of curriculum. Cause I spent years locked up studying some deep things, and then when I got out, I spent like a year and a half studying some deep things. Then I lost faith and hope because every family member I've known, every acquaintance or so-called friend that I've ever known, they all had turned their backs on me because I wanted to better my life. Those of you who is on here who knew me from back in the day, y'all know how far the Lord has brought me. The Most High Yahweh has brought me in my Idris system. And y'all see how people had turned on me. But it's all good, like my music and my messages. A prophet is not welcome in his own country. And that's what's going on with me now. I got family that's involved around here, around this area where I stay, and they do witchcraft against me to try to cut off my blessings, of where I don't prosper or receive that breakthrough like you see in the Old Testament, where the angel, well, not one angel of the Lord, it was the prince of Persia, blocked the angel of the Lord from delivering the message to Daniel for like 21 days. So that's the kind of stuff that these people be on. Then you got organizations like fraternities, sororities, secret societies, and Illuminati, which is now the United Nations, the Bilderberg Group, and all them together. Trilateral Commission. The president, that's another thing about these elections, man. They got electoral college and they go with the popular vote. They stick in there who they want to play the part of their agenda. They on puppets on the string. That's why they can't pass. They really ain't got no power. They can do a little this and that, but really they have no power. You seen what John F. Kennedy said? He spilled all the tea on them. So just be thinking about that, man. And y'all let me know what kind of content y'all want to look at, right? So I can make that happen for you. Because I love to teach and I love to communicate and interact with like-minded people, but it's not in my own country because the prophet ain't welcome. They remember the old block. They remember D Block. D Block the Don. That's who they remember me and who they always remember me as. I did a bunch of messed up stuff when I was younger. I used to be out of control and wilding when I was a crazy bald head. Okay. So that's how they throw up. They'll smile on my face, family and all that, how much they love me. The whole time they be plotting to kill you. They be plotting to do witchcraft on you. They just spying on you. But I put my faith in the Most High, because if God can be for me, who can be against me? And I hope and pray, and I'm going to have faith that the content that I'm dropping is going to do numbers, because I'd like to get over to 1,100 viewers so I can go live stream and I can communicate with y'all. I'd prefer it that way, so that way y'all can give y'all's input and ask some questions. And I'm very well rounded, and you know, it ain't always gonna be, it'll be about spirituality. It's gonna be about spirituality. It's gonna be about the government. It's gonna be about my music, my life, my life, your entertainment. Even though this ain't no movie, and this is real life with real dire consequences. I don't get on here much and be like, oh, like, share, subscribe. I do want you to comment, because I think a lot of people do content just for the money, but I'm doing it to reach the mind and reach a soul. I mean, I like money. You gonna need money. I get money. You see, I'm at work right now on break. So I like money. You gotta have money, but eventually money's not gonna mean nothing. And I'm trying to run this money up to get resources to help me and my people in a time of need. And a lot of people, they hit me up and ask me, okay, well, what's RMF stand for? Because I shouted out, got it tatted on me. It's a family. It's a family, like-minded people, rosters, and anybody who are biblically based. But you gotta show the fruit. You know, you gotta go through the steps, and it's not many people tied into it. Like it ain't thousands of people, but not even 400 or 500, but it's about a good number. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't want to let no wolf see into what we got going on, because we feel like we the army of the Latter-day Saints. And that's how we rockin'. We looking out for the people and the saints and the poor and the widow, the orphan, the oppressed. Somebody had also asked me if I go to church. Okay, I go to many different churches. I'm not a member of any church or congregation, because I don't believe in organized religion. My body is a temple of the true and living, in the kingdom of heaven is inside of me. See, a lot of these preachers, they wasn't called to preach. They just woke up one day and was like, oh, well, I think this will be good. I'd like to do some work. So they go to college and they get indoctrinated on how to teach the word and this, that, and the third. And then they got these degrees and opened up a church, and you. Now it's under the 501c3. You know what I'm saying? Government regulated, where you can't talk on certain things. And they ain't keeping it real in church. They'll tell you about the love, the peace, and the prosperity. But they ain't telling you, you know, the Bible say you're going to be killed. You're going to be in prison, many trials, tribulations, and afflicted. You'll be hated by all men for my name's sake. The foes will be them of your own household, and the prophet is not welcome in his own country. And you read Revelations, it talk about the blood of the saints and the bones of the saints under the altars. And then the outside of their cup looking good, but the inside full of dead man's bones. And they preach with their mouth and they sing worship with their mouth, but they heart from it. Heart far from it. That's what church is now. And they ain't teaching about the real. There's people in the Middle East getting their head cut off now. They ain't cutting the Hindus and the all the other ones out. The Hindus, the Buddhists. It's just Rastas and people who believe biblically based teaching. Why is that? Okay, and everybody wanna down Christ and wanna play the Bible as the white man's book. No, it ain't. If you look, all of the characters in there are people of color. They lied to you to make you hate your own kind. Yeah, they remixed it, you know what I'm saying? They put twists and turns and inserts and excerpts. But the overall message is still true. Okay, so I go up in the temple to fellowship and to sing praises. I'll listen to the man, but I'm not listening to the man. I take my own point of view, because a lot of people, like for instance, a couple weeks ago, I went to this temple and the mug said that some people think that people are preordained and destined to go to hell, and he tried to say it ain't right, but in the scripture it did say they some vessels fitted for destruction, just like Pharaoh, had that heart hard. And y'all be weary, because it said Satan come as an angel of light, so no marvel if his ministers comes at the angel of the light, whose end will be judged by their works, according to their works. So if they doctrines of devils, damnable heresies, even denying the one who came and cleansed us from our ungodliness and corruption. Then we got tolerance. Tolerance is what really messed the church up. We don't want to offend nobody. Yada, yada, yada. Everybody's so offended nowadays, so they don't want to teach the word because they about that jack. Then it's like everybody in society is offended and sensitive about everything, to the point they'll kill you for something you said on the internet. Right? And you gotta think, in the 1970s, man, mugs wasn't sensitive like this. They was getting K9 sicked on, they was getting hosed down, houses burnt, mob lynched, it was going down. And even before that, in like the 40s and the 50s, when you had the Wild Wild West, the indigenous Americans, I ain't even gonna call up Native American, that's my people too, keep to why. So in them days, the cowboys would come raid the Indians and rob and kill them, and that rape they women. And y'all forgive me for this content, but it's the truth. It's historical fact. I'm just trying to let y'all see that they turned us from the wild to a docile petting zoo in America. Okay, so they'd go rape the native women, the indigenous women, and take the babies, bam, and like sling their head against the rock, or they'd pick up stones and bash the brains out. And that goes the same with the indigenous against the cowboys. It was hardcore out here, man. Your great grandpa, all them, your great uncle, they would be upset to see how the world is today, how girly and effeminized this place has got. Another thing, on the healing of the nations, or that gas, or that ganja, whatever you calling it nowadays, okay, it ain't good to sit around. Rasta, we smoke to reflect. And you know, socialize, it's a spiritual thing. We don't smoke just to get blasted out of our minds, and we don't sit around doing this all day. Many people do, and they gonna pay the price. And that loud, that drove and stuff y'all got with no seeds, that's not natural. It didn't come from the ground. It's got no herb building. It ain't a herb building seed. So that's against, even though I do rock with it here and there, it's against the laws of the Most High. We ain't even supposed to smoke it. We supposed to be eating it. Ital is vital. I gave you the herb for meat. You know what I mean? And then you got medical marijuana in dispensaries and stuff, recreational and all that going on, right? Okay. So you read on the pack, it says, oh, this is known to the state of California to cause cancer. And they doing a lot of this genetically modified weed, you know what I'm saying? And you think they didn't adjust that molecular structure so to be against the American society? Dr. Wesley Muhammad, one of Farrakhan's people. Okay, he got a quick synopsis where he's breaking down where the CIA said that they had, I guess, changed the molecular structure and modified it to where it would feminize black people. And I really feel like y'all should look into that and get your own grasp on what's going on. Get your own thoughts. So I've read it and I studied the document that he produced. I went research that, and sure enough, man, it's solid, man. So and I told him in the comment, I was like, look, I thank God that you had put this video out, because lately, you know, whenever I be with the acquaintances, I run across an acquaintance and they blowing down, hitting the wood or smoking a chalice, I might jump in for a second. But I noticed, you know, it made my spirit weird. And then after I seen that video, I was like, man, it must have been meant for me to see that video, because I've been questioning internally, like, man, is there something going on with this stuff? Like, I don't trust medical marijuana. So grow your own if you can, you know what I'm saying? Get you some with some seeds and grow your own, and just keep regenerating that plant. All you need is one forever. Once you got that one, gold. Let's see, it was something else I wanted to get on too. Rights. Okay, so I'm not what you call a homophobic, but I don't support or condone that kind of behavior at all. I'm not a supporter of the LGBTQ. I'm not a supporter of Black Lives Matter, because they trying to make it trendy and manipulate and brainwash people into this stuff, making it like, oh, you ain't cool unless you getting down like a fool. And then, you know, as a roster, what they did in them Caribbean islands, buck breaking and all that, man, we don't play that. We don't play that. But it's crazy how we can tolerate them and treat them good, but if we don't agree with them or whatever, then it's over for us. They try to cancel us out and try to judge us and try to attack the church. They even got gay churches out here now, which you know, Three Little Piggies, I'm a huff and I'm a puff and I'm a blow your house down. It's a nice illustrated book, if you catch me. You know, we gotta be careful. Black Lives Matter, man. That is a agenda movement too, because they all about the money. Look at the $1 million houses and stuff they living in off the blood of our people. You know what I'm saying? And if it was Black Lives Matter, then where'd y'all go? You know, y'all went silent when all these other brothers and sisters was getting killed and mopped down, right? And why ain't y'all in the hoods? We need y'all in the hoods. Because that's where all the killing going on. Gang banging and ops and smoking this, packing that. That's what's going on out here, man. And we need, if they care really about Black Lives Matter, then they need to go to the hood and help them people. Also, if y'all look on one of the CNN broadcasts with Patrice Cullors, she is the founder of the BLM movement. She said her and her group and her cadets are trained Marxists and Leninists. And I don't support communism, and I don't support Marxism and fascism or none of that. I support individuality and a person who gonna think for themselves. So that's why I don't support them. Black Lives Matter as a real heartfelt and grasping concept, I support that. But as a political movement and a social agenda, nah, it ain't cutting it, brother. Sister, Idrin, sister. When you post your whole life, how you gonna run? See, and then they had swayed us to go support the LGBTQ or LGBTQ rights. And then whenever they got their platform and it started flowing, then boom, they left the black people in the burning. And they actually made black people the face of homosexuality. But ain't nobody really care for our rights, man. Everybody gonna use us. We'll fight for native people's rights, Spanish people's rights. Nobody ain't fighting for us or standing for us. I got some stuff in the future though. We gonna be get Marcus Garvey, the original G code. Since everybody like to talk about the G code, I got the original certified 1950 street code, G code. Marcus Garvey, you know, Black Panther movement. We gonna get real deep. I just want to know what y'all would like to hear more of. You know, what be on y'all mind. What kind of things that you see